Hey guys, Steve Charbridge here. So in this video, this is going to be just a book review. If any of you have seen, this is going to be on a series. It's going to be for the Percy Jackson series. I did a review for the first two books in the Percy Jackson the Olympian series, and this one is obviously going to be on the third book, which is the Titan's Curse. I actually finished this book a few weeks ago. Actually, as I speak right now, I have actually finished the whole series. So yeah, I've finished. I read the Battle of the Labyrinth and I read the Last Olympian. So I'm done with the series, and all I can say is wow, wow, what an epic series. And I'm officially a fan. I'm a big fan of the world that Rick Riordan created, out of Greek mythology, and I can't wait to read the Heroes of Olympus series and all of his other work. But yeah, so let's not get too ahead of. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. Just here to talk about the Titan's Curse. So obviously this is the third book. I feel like this is the book where things start to get a little bit darker. Some people might say it's the Battle of the Labyrinth, but I kind of disagree. I would say that the Titan's Curse is where things start to get a little bit darker, a little bit more mature. But basically, the Sea of Monsters ended with the big cliffhanger of Thalia becoming turning back to her human form because she was a tree, but she changed back into a human. So that was a big cliffhanger. But at the beginning of this book, it's Percy, Annabeth, and Thalia. They're answering like a distress call from Grover, so they're going to the school. And Percy's mom, Sally, is driving them. I won't go through it detail by detail. I'll give you like the basic plot synopsis of the book, then I'll just tell you how I feel about it. But yeah, so basically they've I think Grover basically, well, pretty much Grover has found two new half-bloods, Nico and Bianca D'Angelo, who spoiler alert I guess, but who we later find out are the children of Hades, the god of the dead, or however you want to say that. I said he's the god of the dead. That's basically what he is, god of the underworld, whichever title you prefer. But yeah, so they're going to basically, rescue these two half-bloods, and of course they get intercepted by Dr. Thorne. Is that his name? I think so. He's basically I think it said he at one point he kept shifting into like this lion type thing, like a lion basically. He was a monster, but he was like one of the he wasn't the main antagonist, but the main antagonist was called the General, who, I guess, another spoiler alert, but we also found out that the General, who was the main antagonist in this book, was Atlas, who is one of the Titan lords, the one who holds the sky. I'm not really knowledgeable in my Greek mythology. I knew some of the gods about in the Greek mythology, but I didn't know a ton until I read these books. Well, I still don't know a ton, but I know more from reading these books. That's the point. But yeah, that turned out to be Atlas, who is the one that holds the sky. Yeah, that guy. But anyways, but yeah, they're going to answer this call to rescue Bianca and Nico D'Angelo and this Dr. Thorne guy again. I think that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he kidnaps the D'Angelos and Percy and Percy goes to save them, and basically they save the D'Angelos, him, Thalia, Annabeth. They save the D'Angelos, but Annabeth ends up getting kidnapped by Dr. Thorne, so she is gone for most of this book, which is kind of unfortunate. But Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, and a few of her huntresses intercept and they try to help, but Annabeth still gets captured. And Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, she's another big part in this book. Because later on she actually goes to track the General, just to track them, but she ends up getting captured as well. But before that, Percy and Thalia already. It's apparent that Thalia already has met Artemis and Zoe Nightshade, who is another new character that we're introduced to in this book. And Zoe Nightshade is pretty much like Artemis's second command, pretty much. Right hand woman, I guess, like right hand man, but right hand woman, whatever you want to call it. But we meet her, and one thing I want to talk about this is that Bianca D'Angelo, I didn't like her for a lot of this book because I thought it was I thought it was kind of messed up how she just pretty much like almost at the beginning, like we haven't even known her for that long, and she like almost abandons her brother, like she abandons Nico and just says, "Oh yeah, I'll join," because Artemis asks if she wants to join the Huntresses, and she has to swear an oath and all this other stuff, and Bianca like barely hesitates and just says, "Yeah, I'll join." So it's like she's pretty much just abandoning her brother, which I felt sorry for Nico. It's like, dude, that's what the hell? Like you've ever like you've been through so much together probably, and now you're just going to abandon your brother like that. Like that's pretty fucking selfish, but whatever. She sort of made up for it later on in the book, but of course, those of you who've read know her fate. Um, I'll get to that in a minute though. But after Annabeth gets captured and after they save the D'Angelos, they go back to Camp Half Blood, and they go back, and I'm trying to remember if anything significant happened at Camp Half Blood. Well, obviously, Percy and Thalia get in a fight, which was pretty intense. Then the prophecy, I believe, the prophet or the oracle actually gets up out of the cabin, walks down, and gives the prophecy. Then walks back, or no, they have to. Percy and Grover have to carry it back up to the house, so that was kind of freaky. But yeah. So basically, the mission, the quest in this book is Thalia, Percy, or no. Well, Percy actually doesn't actually initially. He's not initially supposed to go, but he sneaks into the quest basically. Like he gets Blackjack as Pegasus that he saved in Sea of Monsters, and basically joins the mission without being told he's supposed to be a part of the mission because because Nico's sister Bianca is going on the mission. It's Bianca, Zoe Nightshade, Thalia, and Grover who are going on the mission. And Nico asked Percy to look out for his sister. Just look out for her, make sure she's safe, whatever. So Percy pretty much sneaks into the mission, pretty much. And the whole mission is to save Artemis, and of course, for Percy, I mean, save Annabeth, I mean, obviously. But yeah, that's basically the plot of this book. I won't go any deeper than that. I did say I would talk about Bianca. Um, Yet another spoiler alert if you haven't read this. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's read this series by now, but of course, I wouldn't be surprised if someone hasn't because I hadn't read this series until like the beginning of last month. But like I knew about it, but I hadn't actually read it. But Bianca does die in this book, which I wasn't expecting. Like I thought she was going to be alive a little bit longer, but no, she dies, and she dies in the junkyard. Um, was it the junkyard of Hephaestus? I forget. It was a junk. It was some type of Greek mythological junkyard. I forget. That sounds really bad, but yeah, she ends up dying because she takes one of the objects from the junk field, and you're not supposed to do that. And she pretty much ends up getting like, how does she get killed? She just, I forget exactly how she got killed. I want to say she got vaporized, but like no, she gets killed, and she grabbed the thing because it was like because her brother Nico D'Angelo, he has this card game that he like is obsessed with in this book, and obviously that changes in the later books, but like he's obsessed with this card game. He collects the gods and like the cards with all the gods on it, and he has like figurines. And Bianca, there was like I guess it was a figurine of Hades in the junkyard, and she picked it up because she wanted to bring it back for Nico because she knew he didn't have it. So that was kind of a sad, sweet moment, bittersweet moment. So Bianca did kind of make up for it by doing that. Like she was thinking of her brother, so she kind of made up for that, whole thing. Still wasn't crazy about her decision, but she kind of made up for it basically. But yeah, oh yeah, it's funny because earlier in the book, Nico calls Dionysus the wine dude. Like he had his card. He has Dionysus's card, and he's like, oh, you're the wine dude, and Dionysus is like, the wine dude. It's a really funny scene. I love that scene. Like I thought that was hysterical, but yeah, that was a really funny scene in the book. And there's also another scene where shit, I can't remember. Amsterdam, is that where they were? Like they were talking about going to the damn snack bar, and like damn this and damn that. That was pretty funny too. That's pretty much like one of the big scenes in this entire series. Like one of the what you would call it. I don't know, one of the big moments in the series. I don't know, one of the biggest funny moments in this series, but that was pretty funny too. I think you know what I'm talking about. For those who have read it, but yeah, that was pretty funny. But anyways, overall, and obviously they beat Atlas because Percy actually takes the sky for a second, and it's like he's about to die, but then like Artemis or Percy and Artemis basically trick Atlas into taking the sky back again, and then yet another spoiler alert: Zoe Nightshade does die, which was pretty sad because at first I didn't like Zoe Nightshade. She was kind of a bitch, but then like later on she kind of grew on you when she became like a really awesome character, and then she died in the end. It was pretty sad, but and obviously there was Luke, and Thalia had a confrontation with Luke that was pretty emotional, but Thalia ended up fighting Luke, and I thought Luke actually was dead, but he wasn't because he fell off the cliff, and it said his body was like crumpled and everything, like a lifeless, just lifeless crumpled body, but apparently he didn't die. So yeah, but I kind of expected that anyways because he's like the main antagonist of this series, besides Kronos, but obviously. But anyways, yeah, they win, and the book ends with because Grover thought he heard Pan, so there's obviously it ends in that cliffhanger of him thinking he heard Pan. I would definitely say I like all the books in this series. I mean, every book in this series is phenomenal. I mean, this series overall is just like one of the best. Like, I think Percy Jackson may be my favorite protagonist in a series, like maybe ever. Like, I think I like not the book series. Like, as far as Harry Potter goes, I do like the Harry Potter book series a bit better than this series. They're both great, but I think I like Harry Potter book series overall better. But as far as like who I like as a character better, like Harry Potter or Percy Jackson, I think I actually like Percy Jackson a bit better. So yeah, I like Percy Jackson. I mean, all the characters were pretty good. Thalia was a pretty interesting character, but unfortunately she joined the hunt. So we only got to see her for one book, and then she pretty much went away, which is really unfortunate because it's like there was that big cliffhanger about her coming back, then we don't get to see her for one book, then she leaves, which is pretty unfortunate, but minor gripe. And we see her. She comes back, and we don't see her in the Battle of Labyrinth, but we see her in the Last Olympian. But she was pretty cool. Zoe Nightshade. Grover was. I don't think I really liked Grover until like the Battle of the Labyrinth or the Last Olympian. Like until then, he was pretty much just like a wimpy sidekick type of character. Yeah, not really any complaints. This might be one of the slowest because there's not a ton happening. And plus, I don't really like the combo of Percy, Thalia, Zoe Nightshade, Grover, and Bianca, like when she's in there. Like, I don't know, out of all the group dynamo, or I think I said that wrong, but out of all the group combos, I'll just call it that, of all of these books, I think I like this combo the least. I really liked Annabeth, Percy, and Grover in the first book. I really liked Annabeth, Percy, and Tyson in the second book. This group I really don't like as much, like as duo, whatever you call it. I don't really like the chemistry. They have chemistry, but just not as much as like Percy and Annabeth, or Percy and Tyson, or Percy and Grover, or, you know, vice versa, whatever. But yeah, more slow paced. Probably definitely my least favorite, but still a great book. So yeah, I'll give this one like 4.5 out of 5. I don't want to give them all 5 out of 5, but yeah, still a really great book. Recommend it. Recommend the whole series. So yeah, read the series. But yeah, that's it for this video review. I'll do a review for Battle of the Labyrinth. Maybe I can try to make it shorter because this video still got really long. Didn't want it to, but still did. But oh well. But yeah, Titan's Curse, 4.5 out of 5. Good book. And yeah, so that's it for this video. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.